I kind of got tired of burying kids. There were so many kids who were dying from all the gang violence at the time and felt that the programs that were in existence really were not doing enough to address that issue. So I started my own organization just to try to address that issue of trying to keep kids safe and give them some hope for the future. This is my community. I choose to work in this community because this is where I was born, this is where I grew up, this is where I've raised my children, and now my grandchildren are here in this community. So my heart is here in Southwest Detroit. It's the Latino community in Detroit that a lot of people don't even know exists, and it doesn't get a lot of attention or resources, and the children get neglected a lot in this community. So this is where my heart is. This is where I've done all my work all my life.
I became involved with DHDC when I initially moved to Detroit 15 years or so ago. I met Angie, who's the executive director of DHDC, many years back, and you know, she really got me to get a better understanding of what key issues were happening within Southwest Detroit.
Issues like a dropout rate of 87% of the kids, somewhere between 30 and 50% of the kids involved in gangs, kids dying all the time. One of the things that happens when young people are faced with death, senseless death all the time, is that they lose hope.
When I was born, I had a birth defect. My legs, let me say I was not as fortunate as you. I want you to feel empowered today. Does this make sense to you already? I want you to feel empowered.
Teenagers make mistakes. In our community, teenagers pay for those mistakes with their lives. A lot of the kids are dealing with post-traumatic stress. It's not normal for a 14-year-old to know 20 kids their age have been killed, or to have several people that they know locked up for the rest of their lives.
I met Angela Reyes in 1998, and she had a program called the Grace Program for gang members trying to get out of gangs and trying to get them jobs and put them back into society because to stop the gang war at that time.
When I moved my company back into the city of Detroit down in Mexican Town, Angela and DHDC helped me sit down with the gangs and try and create some peace in the neighborhood. And the way that they wanted some peace is they wanted some jobs.
We're ex-felons. It was very hard for me to find a job.
I get a phone call on January 1st, and Angie says, you want a job?
No matter how good of a program it is on paper, if you don't have the right people to do the program, then it's not going to be successful. This is not just a job. This is something that people do as a lifetime thing. It's a passion. It's something that they're committed to. So all my staff that work here work 24/7, really.
This is a calling, and I found my calling. So I'm dedicating myself and my life to these youth.
You know, you have these hard workers who are giving their heart into what they do. You have the community youth who are coming to the agency. DHDC is a safe haven for a lot of these students, for a lot of these youth.
We also had a partnership with St. Anne's Church, which was very important because that's where we held the meetings with all the leaders of all the rival gangs in order to try to form a truce. So they needed some safe place. So we actually met there with the chief of police and the mayor at the time. It was over Devil's Night weekend. And the young guys said, so you're asking us to be angels instead of devils? And they said, yes. So they renamed it Angels Night. And that's actually how Angels Night got named in the city of Detroit, was because of the young people in the original Grace program.
I became involved with the Detroit Hispanic Development Corporation about 2 years ago, and we're really impressed with the type of activities that DHDC is doing in the Detroit community. We were really impacted by the number of student dropouts that there are right now in that community, so we felt an impact to try to get involved as a corporation to work on education-based programs with the DHDC.
My goal was to create a safe place and to create a family for those kids so that they had alternatives and they had people around them that could protect them from a lot of the things that are going on and help guide them to a safe and productive future.
It's very comforting. We're comfortable here. We're comfortable with ourselves, our surroundings, and we feel safe.
We're like a big family. Like, we could talk about it. We could talk about anything, and it'll stay here.
What could I say about Miss Reyes? She's the greatest person on earth. She showed me a lot. How to be a man.
It was kind of hard to believe that she could get what she wanted to do. But if there was anyone in the world, Angela was the one, and she did it.
When do I see my vision being complete? It may not be in my lifetime. It may be after I'm gone, but we're building a strong cadre of young leaders who I know will continue the work. So I'm leaving it in good hands. I'm leaving it in the hands of the young people who we're working with to do the final job.